What is good, friends, and welcome back. Since the 5.0 update, units became so powerful that commanders are struggling with base durability. Before the modern units, a max medium tank or artillery had around 11 to 12 million power with the barrack extension. Now, with the officer skill training feature, you can reach 56 million power per march, so roughly 5 times more powerful. Needless to say, burning down a base can be achieved by forming an army group of a few tanks now. This game changed since the good old days. That is why I want to share with you some base durability tricks, and I'm not talking about the advanced base defense technology. Some tips are completely free, others require officer statues. Now you may know where I'm going with this, but keep in mind, friends, those tricks will definitely help you. They work for me. If they work for me, they will work for you. All right. Now, the first tip is you want to deploy your base and fight in active alliance territory as much as possible. Take a look at your alliance research section where the territory tab is. This is all the buffs you get by fighting in your claim land versus in neutral or enemy territory. Use this tech to your own advantage and you will realize that defending your position from claim land is easier. Don't get confused though when you are building a turret. When you're actually building the turret, you are still in the neutral zone, so neither you nor the enemy will benefit from this buff. Same thing goes when you support an ally. If you fight on their side under a peace treaty, you are not in active alliance territory. So you may ask, or before you say, listen, Mac, that's all fine, but I don't see any base damage resist buff in this research tab or this tech tab. That is right. Although, however, there is a lot of tech that will boost your firepower, and by boosting your firepower and your damage resist on your troops, by default, defending your base when your base is under attack, you will melt troops much faster than if you are fighting in neutral zone or enemy zone. Okay, and many commanders, they forget about this feature when they deploy their base. They will deploy it in a random area or in neutral land, and they don't realize, or they wonder why their base is not as effective, or their troops, they're not dealing as much damage as before. Well, this is it. And if you're fighting in neutral land and your enemy is in claim land, then you have a problem. You're not as strong as you used to be, so keep in mind, just a small detail makes a difference here. Another trick is the camp rank buff that many commanders still ignore despite being available since the very first day of Warpath. However, this rule changed a little since the 7.0 update. I have to thank my buddy Jonathan who pointed it out to me. He contacted me by messenger and said, listen, things changed, nobody noticed, what's up? And at first I said, no, it's still the same. And he said, no, those buffs didn't apply to your base. Okay, now it is. If you see at level 4, damage plus 15 and damage resist plus 15% for your troops and base when you have 5 times or 5 units of the same camp rank deployed. Okay, this is the key word here, deployed. So what do I mean by that, deployed? Okay, if I click on army right there, when you have a unit, okay, I'm going to remove this unit so you understand. I click on this unit and I click deploy right there. Do you see this? The blue box? There you go. Many commanders, many friends came to me and said, listen, why you don't train those units? Why don't you upgrade those units? I don't need to. All I want to do is get a better buff by having an additional Vanguard unit. All right, so I have 1, 2, Air Force, 3, 4, 5. What does it mean? Camp. So it doesn't matter which camp, everything is maxed now. So I go in Vanguard Division, skills, I click level 4, damage plus 15% and damage resist plus 15% for your troops and base when you have 5 units of the same camp deployed. There you go. So before, when I had my Martha's Watch helicopter instead of that anti-tank gun, I was at level 3 plus 8%. Now at my level 15, almost double the buff. Okay, so this is free stuff. You just need to think about this. And why do I put this anti-tank gun? You say it's not going to deal any damage, nor my helicopter at rank at grade 13. It's at the low scale. It's very weak. It doesn't deal much damage. So it's not a big factor. I'd rather have a better buff on troops that deal a lot of damage than having no buff or a smaller buff for troops that deal basically no damage. All right, do you understand this? So this is easy. This is free. You can do this. You won't look silly by having a fake unit just to deploy, just to increase your camp buff. Many smart commanders do that, and you should do it. All right. Let's talk about officers. This is where you need those officer statues to level some officers. Either you have to awaken them, meaning that all their skills have to be at level 5, or you just need to level one particular skill to level 5, and you just train any officer of your choice with that particular skill. Now, in order, we have Steel Fighter, Torn Countess, Golden Eagle, and Vox. All right, let's talk about Steel Fighter first. Once awakened, if garrison, she will reduce the damage received by the base from officer skill by 30%. Okay, this is quite huge. If you don't realize it yet, the officer skill, when it launched, it deals a crazy amount of damage. By reducing this damage, you will slow down the burn time. Okay, you may survive a few seconds more, which in some case may have a huge impact depending of the scenario and how strong you're getting hit. All right, so this skill, it's a tactical skill. You cannot use this skill to train any officer, and unfortunately you need to awaken her to benefit from that skill. All right, so that's why I have Steel Fighter on my anti-tank gun. It doesn't have, I know it sounds silly, it looks silly, but it works. Once again, this unit doesn't have to be trained, only deploy. All right. Torn Countess, once awakened, if garrison any shield the troop has, so Steel Fighter, is increased by 15% and can be used by the base. The base also receives 10% less damage from normal attack, so not officer skill. If you want to awaken Torn Countess, you may need to awaken Steel Fighter first, so you have the shield, and then Torn Countess will enhance the shield, not only on your troop, but also on your base. Once again, it makes a big difference. When you notice that the blue line under your base, that goes down very quick when you're under attack. Well, that blue line, when you're getting hit, means the shield is in action. Okay, it will slow down the burn. Golden Eagle, he's a recent officer, so if garrison, he will increase the damage resist of your troop by 15%. He will also increase the damage resist of your base by 10% when this officer is garrisoned there. You can also double this effect by training that skill to another garrison officer. All right, so you get 20%. Did I notice a difference? Yeah, a little bit. Vox, what's so special about her skill? Let's look at her tactical skill. Prep time 8 seconds. Yes, if on the map increases the damage resist of this officer's troop and all of your troops within one map grid by 35% for 4 seconds. If garrison, increases the damage resist of your base by 30% for 8 seconds and reduces the prep time for the garrisoned officer's skill by 0.5 seconds. That is crazy, friends. So this, I suspect that Lilith released this officer as so many commanders complain about the base durability, and I'm not saying that you're crying. I was crying too, so we're in the same boat, but she didn't fix the whole thing, but she will help you quite a lot if you can awaken her and place her on any unit. In my case, I placed her in the anti-tank gun with a steel fighter. Like I said, it doesn't matter. Even if this unit is at 0, it's still deployed. Now Vox is freaking amazing. I've noticed a tremendous difference in base durability by as soon as I awaken her. All right. So if you have 720 statues, go ahead, focus on her. You will see the difference. The only bad news is you have to awaken her, so you need 720 statues. But once you do, man, it will be a game changer. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead, awaken her, and you will be very happy. All right, friends, so I will wrap this up, and before I do, I have one last trick for the new player, like the commanders that didn't reach the 300 days of playing Warpath. I didn't forget about you. Just keep in mind before you get disappointed, those tricks or those officers will not affect your base durability. You're not there yet, but still you can do, there's a little something you can do about it in terms of base defense. I will talk about Percy and Antonina. Percy, if you don't have her, it means that you are you basically just start playing Warpath, because Percy, she's really easy to awaken as you will upgrade any officer to level 60. That will give you enough statues to fully awaken her. But you don't even have to awaken her to use this skill right there. Her passive skill, Fortify level 5, increases the damage of this officer's troop by 25% when garrisoned. That means when she's in command of a troop that is inside your base, when your base is under attack, all the units fire from inside the base, of course, but she will give a 25% extra damage to that troop she's in command. All right? You have to make sure that she's in charge of a strong howitzer. Same thing for Antonina. I understand that Antonina, she's a little bit more difficult to awaken as you will need universal statues. Still, she should be on your top priority when you start playing Warpath, because she's an amazing officer, especially if you have a strong howitzer. That will help you tremendously. So her skill, it's called counterattack level 5. It's the exact same thing as Percy counterattack, fortify, sorry. So those two officers, you assign Antonina and Percy on a good howitzer. Make sure that howitzer is inside the base when you're under attack, and you will see a major difference how fast you will destroy all the troops trying to attack your base. All right, as long as they fire from inside the base. Outside, you lose that 25% bonus. So be smart. Keep this artillery inside your base, and that will help you survive a little bit longer. So I've talked about where you have to deploy your base. I talk about the camp bonus. I talk about the new and the older officers. Friends, all you have to do is apply those techniques. I know maybe sometimes it's hard to think about that, but listen, when you play and you're into the game, every move there should be a reason behind every move. Okay, nothing is done randomly. When I do this or do that, there's a good reason behind it. It's to increase my survivability, or maybe increase my attack power, or maybe focus on base defense, but there's a reason behind everything. That's why the good players, they excel in Warpath, because they think about their move. All right, so that's it, friends. I hope that these tricks will help you. If you have any comments, let me know in the section below, or you can contact me directly in game. I do my best to answer all the questions. Until then, friends, I wish you a great week. See ya.